I call this drill the contested layup drill. In this drill, players are forced to drive in and shoot a layup in a contested situation, where they are forced to work on their adaptability, their ability to finish with their left and right hand, and their ability to finish in a multitude of ways when they're driving to the basket. I think much more realistic situation than practicing layups without any defence. You can see in the drill here that the defender starts on the side of the offensive player, holding the ball out in front of them so the offensive player can simply take the ball off their hands and drive in and shoot a layup. The defender is supposed to stand with their highest foot over the three-point line. So they're giving the offensive player well and truly a good head start into the layup. So it shouldn't be a choice for the offensive player to stop and shoot a pull-up jump shot or anything like that. They've got to go in and make a layup in this drill. So the rules for the offence are they're allowed 1 or 2 dribbles and they must shoot a layup. And the things I'm looking for them to do is create some space for themselves by moving into the defender, or if the defender's starting to cut them off, using a reverse spin. We have the defence start sometimes on the offensive player's left-hand side, sometimes they start on their right-hand side, so they've got to work at making right-handed and left-hand layups. There was a nice spin move there by that kid. So you can see the adaptability, the ongoing adjustments that the offensive player has to work as they're trying to decide what is the best shot to take in this contested situation. This is one of the essential skills, I think, for offensive players to have been able to get to the rim at speed and be able to finish and make a good decision about how to finish. I think that the thing that isn't taught enough in these, or the skill that isn't practiced enough, is the reverse spin, and also being able to finish with a reverse layup. So it's not really a defensive drill here, although we work on the defenders trying to catch up and contest the shot. It's far more about the offensive player being able to finish in contested situations. And you can see by the amount of shots that are being missed here, it's not an easy thing to do, to be able to make a layup in a contested situation. I think generally as coaches we probably don't practice layups enough, whereas if you look at particularly junior basketball, contested layups, or layups in particular, where most of the points are coming from. There was a spin move there, wasn't such a good one though. We spun up the lane instead of trying to get all the way around and attacking the basket. Again, a good left-hand layup, where they're forced to either shoot it left-handed or go to a spin move. There was another good spin move there. And I found with the kids at the school, since we've been doing this kind of drill work here with this contested layups, we get a far greater success rate in our games of the players being able to put the ball in the hole. So that's the one thing we discourage, is stopping and pulling up and shooting it. I want them to try and always make sure they're getting into the 2 steps of the layup, so they've got to finish in that situation. Particularly a shorter player driving into the key and stopping, the bigger people around are going to also be able to come across and contest that shot, whereas if they can work on speed at the rim, 2 long stride steps to finish. You can see there she took 2 bounces, which resulted in her taking short little steps before she took her shot. Whereas if she had just taken 1 bounce and 2 long steps, that would have been a much harder shot for the defender to contest. Again, you can see 2 bounces there and little steps. I'd much rather see 1 bounce and long strides like that kid just there did. So we have the luxury of lots of practice time, so we can spend quite a bit of time on this drill. You in your club sessions might only have 1 practice session a week. You may not be able to spend as much time on this as we do. But again, I think this is any time spent on this drill is time well spent. You can see those players jumping there. That's the penalty for not winning the drill. Just explaining the next drill we're going to work on here, again, which is another contested layup drill. Now I'm going to give the offensive player the choice of taking a left-handed layup on this drive here or a step back. They can also fake a step back and go in and shoot a left-handed layup, but they've only got 2 shots that they're allowed to take. There's a step back. Left-handed layup. So I find generally with my kids, they're not so good going on their non-preferred hand, and the only way, or one of the ways there's a fake step back followed by a left-hand layup. The only way to get them to have a go at left-handed layups and have a go at step backs is make them the only choices they've got in the move. So here, step back off 2 feet. That close in, I'd probably prefer her to step back onto 1 foot, to the left foot, get it off. Get a left-handed layup. You'd be amazed how often, if you force players to practice something, that it just eventually becomes part of how they play. Fake step back, she probably made a bad decision there. Instead of faking the step back, she probably should have shot it, which is the whole purpose of the drill. Put her in situations where she's forced to make adjustments and decisions and then learn from those decisions. That was a good step back there by Nikki. Not such a good choice that time. Step back. We don't play the offensive rebound in this particular drill, just because I just want to get through the process of working on these 2 skills. We're working on the left-handed layup or the step back. Too sure why she went right that time. I think they just decided they're going to do something different then. Again, good left-hand layup. She got good speed on her drives there. She just needs to practice finishing more with that left hand. I think the step back is really an under-taught skill, particularly in juniors. I think players under 12s and upwards are all capable of shooting step backs. Certainly the under 12 kids are only going to be able to shoot it from about the charge zone distance out. But as they get stronger, they can increase the range they're shooting it from. You can shoot step backs off 1 foot or 2 feet. Certainly around the key area there, stepping back onto 1 foot, leaning back is an excellent way of being able to get the ball over taller defenders close in, and it's a shot that still allows a similar flow to a layup. Insofar as you don't have to stop and get balanced, you can continue with that 1-2 step action, 1 forward, 1 back. All right, here's the final drill we do in our contested layups. Now we start the players as you see here. The play of the ball now. is driving hard to the key. We start the defender back at the edge of the key, because again we're working on the finishing aspect of it. So now the girl who's coming in has got the three choices now. She can turn the corner and go into a left-handed layup, or they can reverse spin, as you've seen with the first two examples, or they can shoot a step back. So let's see what we got here. She's reverse spinning. So I start the defender on that yellow and white line there, so we're not concerned about how the offence is starting their forward movement. They've beaten their player, they're driving hard at the rim, and now they're practising some of the shots they might likely take in those scenarios. That wasn't one of them there. Went in. That must have been a good shot. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, turn the corner, left-hand layup. Again, you probably would have noticed there's a lot of layups missed. And these girls here they're of a pretty decent player. There's a nice step back there. Okay, so she, I think, predetermined that she was going to reverse spin then. I don't think that was a good choice. And again, the whole purpose of the drill is put them in situations where they're making decisions on what the defence is doing rather than predetermining the move that they're going to make. We want them to be able to read the defence and make the right choice. And again, so she faked the step back there, probably could have just gone straight into the step back because the defence didn't react to her. Not a bad spin move, probably could have taken a bigger step and gotten closer to the basket on the spin. There's a nice spin move right there, didn't quite make the shot though. So these are all contested layup drills that I think are great at teaching players how to finish around the basket. I've got 3 players here demonstrating, but I've got 4 baskets going, so I've got 12 players actively involved in the drill at the same time. If you don't have as many baskets, you might want to have one group going from one side, one group going from the other side. But I think any situation where players are practicing their shooting in a contested situation is going to really enhance their improvement in that particular skill. So I hope you found this helpful.